Hi stamping friends, this is Tar Heel Stamper. I want to show you a couple quick techniques today. One is shadow stamping, and I'm going to show you a couple of varieties of that. And then the other one is faux embossing. The first one I'm going to do is shadow effect with a clear block. These are just clear acrylic blocks that you can buy from Stampin' Up. This one is size C. So I'm going to ink it up on the River Rock block. Okay, and just make sure you ink it up. I don't twist mine around because then it gives it like a little movement to the ink. I'm stamping off because I want it to be light. I'm just going to place my block, fold it down, stamp it up. As you can see, there's a very light shading effect there. I don't know why this is called shadowing, but it is. That's what it's called. I didn't make the name up. And then I'm going to make another one just slightly off. So I've got two blocks there. Next, I'm going to ink up the tallest tree in the Lovely as a Tree set. I think that's one of my favorites for masculine cards. And I've used this one so much. Inking it up in Early Espresso. You want to do your shadows in a lighter color. They could be different colors, whatever you choose to do. The top image needs to be stamped in a darker ink so that it will show up. So, and I usually, with my wood stamps, I usually hold them down just a few seconds just to make sure I'm getting a good impression. And there you go. It's a cute technique to use. I'll show you later the card that I make with this. I'll show you another technique that you can do with this. Or another variation of that technique. Not really different, but this one I'm going to have a little bit of a darker outline around the block. So I'm going to use River Rock like I did before. I'm not going to stamp it off yet. I'm just going to take and put just the very edge of the block into a darker color, which in this case is soft suede. Then I'm going to stamp off. If I didn't like it, I could always go back and do it again. I just think that'll add just a little bit extra to it. As you can see, there's a little bit darker color. If you wanted to, you could stamp this off first and then do the edging in the same block color. It's just a little more subtle, and it's not quite as defined as the edges like they are there. Here's the card I made with the piece that I demonstrated earlier with the Lovely as a Tree. I think you can see where the shadow stamping is. And then I've just added a couple of leaves, and I haven't filled in a sentiment, and this I've just put on with a temporary adhesive so that I could show you the card. I just distressed it. I'm going to use it whenever I get ready. I'll just stamp something from Teeny Tiny Wishes on there and have a cute little card. And that's just the hemp thread that we have and a couple more little leaves. And I just distressed the edges a little bit and sponge some colors on there. The paper, and I don't know if you can see that or not, is from Well Worn. It's a new designer series pack that we have in the catalog this year. So I hope you like that. It's a masculine card, which I think we all could use. I've inked the stamp up with basic gray. And I'm going to stamp off a couple times because I don't want that dark. I'm going to press down. And nice little light colored image there. Now using my Stamp-A-Majig, I already stamped the image, and I'm going to just slightly offset this. And where it was, I get just a tiny little shadow image. Sometimes it's hard to get it just right, but you can make it as large or as close as you want, the space in between it, the shadows. Usually go to the right a little bit and down a little bit, and that way you just want to make sure that you're lining it all up. And sometimes that's hard to tell with the lighter color under there. I suppose you could stamp the darker color first, and that might be the easier way to do it. But this is just the way I do it. Let's hope this turns out right. I'm going to line up my Stamp-A-Majig, pull the imaging sheet away, And bring in my stamp straight down. And we'll see what we get. Yeah, we got a nice little, I don't know if the camera will pick that up or not, but there is a nice little shaded, like just looks like a little bit of a shadow behind it. I'll show you the faux embossing technique now. I've gone ahead for sake of time and stamped randomly with 3 of the stamps from, actually I guess I used all 4, huh? From the Delicate Doily set. This is item number 122592. This is a new catalog set from 2011-2012 catalog set. The items you're going to need are a Stamp-A-Majig, the imaging sheet, clear mount block if your set's clear mount, and white pigment ink. And then I'm going to use the color of cardstock that I'm using, which is a new in color for this year. It is Wisteria Wonder. It's a very pretty color. I've gone ahead and stamped the image that I'm going to use for the faux embossing, if you can see that, in I think I used Not Quite Navy because that's what I had out there. You just want a dark color that you can see well to line this up on the Stampin' imaging sheet. And I put just a little bit of adhesive on the back, this mono adhesive, or Chanel as we call it, so that I can hold this down without having it move around while I'm doing this technique. I'm using the same color ink as this cardstock, which is Wisteria Wonder. And let's line this up. You're just going to have to figure out where to line this one up at. Anyway, I go a little bit to the right and a little down, and that's the way I always do it. That way I remember exactly the way to position my stamp. Okay, so I'm going to hold that, slide that away. Make sure this is well inked. And then I'm going to put it right in the corner of that Stamp-A-Majig. Press down. And you don't have to press hard on these because they are kind of sensitive. And it'll do it. But see how that looks? Isn't that cute? It looks almost like it's raised up off the page. That's faux embossing. So I'm going to go finish the rest of this and I'll show you the card I make. Here's the card I made with the faux embossing set. I really like the look of the faux embossing. I don't know if you could really, if this is picking it up on camera, but it looks like it is raised up from the cardstock. I cut a flagpole shape out of Melon Mambo and stamped Love from the Pennant Parade set, and also stamped that in Melon Mambo. And then I stamped another little stamp they have in there. It's a dotted outline in Wisteria Wonder. And just added some little punches from Itty Bitty Punch set. They reminded me of X's, but I ended up making them like flowers. So, it could be X's and O's in there. But anyway, this is for an anniversary card. And I hope you've learned something today, and have a great day.